Greetings and welcome to the RC Wall Vacuum channel. In today's video, this Kraken Vekta with its tailored 50cc is going to get fitted up with its first, what I consider official production unit of the failsafe kill switch I'm working on for these fifth scale engines. The last video I did the assembly of it and a little bench test on it. And I've had on all the prototypes, I've had the low battery voltage software in there, but I never enabled it. So when I started up this production unit a couple weeks ago, I enabled the software and it was fine on the bench. But then once I got it back here and hooked it up in the unit and started running both servos at the same time, I discovered something I had not thought of at the time, and I should have thought of at the time. But there's an issue with the battery voltage sampling times. So I just had to go through and change the software a little bit, not a big deal. And I got a couple tight loops in there now that the issue is I have to slow down the sampling of the battery and average it over a much wider time to drop out some of them sags you see when you're running multiple servos at a time. So the process of doing that, you got to make sure you don't cut down your samples of the receiver and any errors coming off the receiver. So I got in a couple of tight loops there that now allow me to average it probably over about 15 seconds before I actually judge the battery voltage. And so we'll be trying that out in today's run and see how that works. And I got the scope set up there. I'll give you a little show of what was happening with the voltage sags on the batteries. I'm kind of surprised it was dropping that much. I would have thought these batteries would have held their voltage better than that, but it was only going through like 22 or 24 gauge wire, so it ain't much load on these servos either, but it still was giving a problem. So let's take a look at that. So I got the unit over here set up on the bench with the two servos, and got the scope set up, so I'll get the screen and scope put in there, and we'll give this thing a couple tests. So what I'm using on this is these DDM batteries, the 2S's. They're 7,000 milliamp hour batteries, and so being a 2S battery, the nominal voltage is rated 7.4. So I'm assuming a range of between like 8.4 and 6.4. I'm shooting for on this setup, and I did go through and revamp the software a little bit too to lower the threshold voltage down to the 6.4. So I'll fire this thing up and see what we get. And the horizontal bars on the scope are set for 500 millivolts each as a reference. And it's just going through its stuff. You can see even it energizes one of the servos a slight bit when it was booting up, and it dropped a little bit. So the kill switch is ready to go. Fire that up. Fire up the kill switch. So if you watch the steering servo, I don't really pull it down too much without load. And you put a load on there, you're going to definitely see it drop down. But throttle definitely has a lot more effect, and that's. Let me get it. Oh yeah, that's when it first activates it. Now right now I still got it held down in position, so certainly it's obviously pulling out more current when it moves the servo than when it holds, which you kind of assume. But what I was getting on, having problems with is running both of those at the same time, and you can see it's dropping down at least a volt. So even at nominal 7.4, I'd be down to 6.4, and the initial software I had this 7 volt threshold I was looking for a failure. So as you can see, it's definitely got to be sampled over a lot wider time. Now there's both servos are full on and activated, and you don't really see a whole lot until I start moving one of the other servos. So I think the 15-second range of time filtering on the samples should help out a lot. But being in the software, I can pop the chip out and modify it if need be. So let's load this thing up and take it up on a hill climb. I'm afraid the hill climb is going to be the best test because I got to use the kill switch pretty reliably on the hill climb. So probably the best test for it. So load it up and take a trip up there. So before heading all the way up to the hill, I'm going to give it a quick test in here. I got it installed. One thing I forgot to mention earlier is that I did check these batteries when I was testing this with a voltmeter, but this sample rates, these sags in these batteries are turning so fast. I had the scope, I believe, set at 10 milliseconds on those vertical bars, and we weren't seeing anything really more than a 20 millisecond pulse. So when your sampling rates are in the microseconds, milliseconds is a long time. So anyhow, let's fire this thing up and make sure it works here first. throttle and steering at the same time, nothing's going bad, so should be good to give it a try. So I'm up here now and got everything all set up. We'll head down to the bottom of the hill and give her a run. So my biggest concern with this thing was this new design was the size of it and the fact that I'm putting the microcontroller a lot closer to the EMI source that's coming into the little box. But I did test fire it down in the shop and it works, so we'll see if it still holds up going up the hill. Yep, we got green. So it should fire up pretty quick. It should still be warm. And the kill switch cuts out. Very good. Of course, my radio got a little messy. So over here's where it ended up. It didn't roll back down the hill. So I'm going to load it up and take it back down and do another run. All right, we'll give her another shot. I think I'm going to stand off a little bit to the side this time. A little muddy last one. Green, got blue, red, got green. Good to go. And we got kill switch. Well, it does look like I could have let off on the throttle a little bit sooner and ended up way over here, but luckily it didn't get past the trees. So this hill climbing stuff's a lot of work for an old fat dude, but it's a lot of fun. So the kill switch has been working really good. I haven't any problems with it. For future videos, I'm going to be working on another spot in the woods here. It's like a large glacially formed bowl. It's got some vertical sides and pretty tall. I'm going to be clearing that out and doing some video over there. I might start with some 8-scale electric on there to minimize damage if things go wrong. But anyway, I got a lot more projects coming up here, and I got an interesting one for all you engine tuners coming up here in the next week or so. So stay tuned. And in the meantime, thanks for watching.